Now, going over to the cultural part of the podcast, you have Whoopi Goldberg saying abortion is okay because it, according to her, is not mentioned in the Ten Commandments. Interesting. Now, this was first reported by Colin Rugg over at X's Twitter, and he said, quote, "New, The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg suggests that abortion is okay because it's not mentioned in the Ten Commandments." And then he has a couple quotes from her. And usually before I play a clip, I usually say how their voice is infinitely better than mine. It's maybe an exception to the rule. But, I mean, I was going to say, thankfully, it's only a little less than 2 minutes, though it might feel like an eternity just because it's Whoopi Goldberg. But let's see what she has to say. Or doesn't have to say, rather.
No one is obligated to have an abortion. So you never have to have one. And I hope no one ever has to have one. But if you find yourself in a position where you have to, I want to make sure, and I'm way past having kids. I want to make sure, yes, way past. I want to make sure that if you decide this is what you need to do, I'm going to get behind you because I don't know your life. And if you say this is what you need, that's what I'm going to do. 50 weeks, 75,000 weeks, whatever, how many weeks, it's
75,000 weeks. I mean, I don't think you can kill, like, how old would that be? So she said, abortion at 75,000 weeks. Isn't that what she said?
75,000 weeks.
All right, let's pull that up. How would that be? So 75,000 weeks. So there's 52 weeks in the year, in case you didn't know, which if you went to a public school, you may not know. So that's 1,442 years old. That'd be a very late term abortion. I don't know anyone who's lived that long. I mean, Bill Gates looks really old. I know he's not that old yet. But yeah, 1,442 years old. That's pretty old, Whoopi. But even then, she thinks she should be able to end someone's life.
Whatever, how many weeks, it's nobody's business. It's you, your doctor, and God. That's who you have to be.
Fascinating how the man is always left out of this equation. And yet, in some states, they still want financial support or other types of support. And yet, it's even more heartbreaking when you consider there's some men who want the child, and yet the woman will abort the child. When, in many instances, one could argue, why not deliver the child, and if the man wants it, he could take care of it. Granted, there are limitations to what he can do physically to assist in the child's development and growth, but there are alternatives. But they never get a say. Even as I'm told culture is evolving, and yet men are pretty ostracized from the entire situation when it comes to this. Ironically, by the same people who cannot define what a woman is, or what a man is.
Sensational too. And it's not mentioned in the Big Ten. I'm just going to say.
No.
In the Big Ten, it is not mentioned.
The commandments?
Yeah.
Now I know reading 10 statements for some people can be a stretch in terms of the intellectual capabilities. Whoopi Goldberg, maybe that's above her pay grade if she can't read the commandments. Again, I know it's a long read for some. I mean, 10 statements, 10 commandments. Kind of something there that says "Thou shalt not kill." Maybe she has an intellectual rebuttal for that. Perhaps.
Because I figured God was pretty clear. Here's the stuff that'll make your life better on earth. Here's the thing. Don't lie, because you don't want people lying to you. Don't mess with somebody's wife, because you're going to be mad if they're messing with yours. Just, common sense stuff.
Say, "Thou shalt not kill."
They believe that. Yes, well, here's the thing. I think "thou shalt not kill" cannot be used as the block because we allow wars all the time.
Yes, we do.
The Crusades
we allow the death
were about all these things.
We allow guns.
Yes. So there is some conversation to be had here. So you can "thou shalt not kill" for everybody.
Yes.
And everything. Or we have to talk about all the things that you and I need to do. And I have to, I need to give you.
Now, I know that was probably painful for most people's ear balls. It was not easy to get through that. So I appreciate it if you actually are still tuning into the show. And it went moderately viral. Not the craziest, but I thought it was mildly entertaining. Now, it got a little bit over more than 500,000 views and 2.8 thousand likes in the first 24 hours of being posted earlier this week. And again, if you actually look at the Bible interpretation and the translation, it's supposed to be, thou shalt not murder. Because again, thou shalt not kill. There are some instances where in self-defense, if someone's attacking you and your family, it makes sense you'd be morally justified to defend yourself and your family. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone thinks she is the peak intellect and a scholar. Some might say is on the level of Socrates. I mean, those people are probably drinking Bud Light, but let's go in the comments and find out. One of the first comments comes from Kyle Becker saying, quote, I think Whoopi's hair is pulled back so tight, it's cut off oxygen to her brain. I'm quoting 1.7 thousand likes. Pulling back more, we have Paul Zazupa saying, quote, Whoopi just admitted that abortion is the killing of an innocent baby, yet she still defends it. There's no defense for that. We all live in a society that values human life, all human life. I'm quoting 611 likes. Junita Broderick says, quote, thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 commandments. Maybe she hasn't read them yet. I'm quoting 4.3 thousand likes. The Recap Media TM says, quote, just lost the brain cell watching this clip. And they also have a news article clip that says, Kamala enjoys being the smartest person in the room, when it looks like Kamala Harris was on The View. Which, man, that bar is so low. She might be. Which is quite concerning. Again, there are many brilliant women out there in the world. That Tim Dillon would say none of them are on The View. None. And that did get 154 likes. Let's see here. Desiree says, quote, who thinks the View? I almost went French there for a second. I apologize. I think I said the Jus. Like Jacques? Nevertheless, my speaking ineptitudes aside, she says, who thinks The View should be canceled? It got 733 likes, which I don't know if I ever want it to be canceled. It's so entertaining and so mentally vacuous. It's almost like a really bad reality show where you're like, there's no way they're this dumb, and yet they certainly are. This is from the same show that said men are evil, they don't need men, saying that in front of their male producer. Awkward, mentally vacuous. Yes. Red Wave Press, this quote is actually the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill, getting 337 likes. Kevin M. Nelson said, quote, the literal translation is thou shalt not murder, which means killing the innocent. Abortion is killing an innocent human in the first 280 days of life. Thou shalt not kill would have contradicted God's command to Noah's son in Genesis 9:6. Abortion is murder. I'm quoting 377 likes. USMC Lady Vet says, quote, I don't count myself as a religious scholar, but the commandment not to kill seems to be part of the 10. I'm quoting 689 likes. Florida Man says, quote, man, it is appropriate. The caricature is, in fact, a humanoid orange with a red hat. And the orange is also an emoji in their name. So the very Florida Man says, quote, question for Whoopi, is slavery okay because it's not in the 10 Commandments? Would love to hear her take according to this logic. I'm quoting 576 likes. Peacemo says, quote, Whoopi Goldberg is dumber than a box of AOCs. I'm quoting 429 likes, which... Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd say that's probably about accurate. I mean, AOC, while morally and mentally vacuous, in many ways, she, what is it? Even clock is right twice a day, or broken clock is twice a day. She did introduce a bill with Matt Gaetz, I think it was 2 years ago, that would ban public officials in Congress from buying stocks and then, making laws to actually make those stocks go up in value to have personal gain. And I think she also agrees to term limits. I forget. You have Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, abortion is murder, getting 726 likes. Graham Allen says, quote, it's literally number 6, thou shalt not kill, unquote, getting 202 likes. Let's see here. There's got to be some kind of strange statements. Because, again, people tune into the show. Now, granted, perhaps it's like Howard Stern where a lot of people just tune in because they hate it so much. Or they hate watch it. Let's see. But no, it looks like overwhelming, just all against... Let's see here. All against The View. So, and again, there are Views fans out there. They're just not in the comments section. I mean, why? I'm actually astonished. Why are they not defending the gals on The View? Which begs the question: have you ever met anyone in real life, not on a college campus, who is a fan of The View, who tunes in regularly and loves the show? I mean, I've thought about this before the show today, and I don't know anyone who's watched The View unironically or has not just watched it just to laugh at it. Again, there are the fans out there, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they exist, But have you ever met anyone who is a fan of The View and tunes in consistently to the show? I mean, I would be especially fascinated here if you heard that, if you experienced those type of individuals that are out there. I mean, let me know. As always, I would be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.